What is up, everybody? Welcome back to an episode of the Marketing Church where you can actually see both myself and Shane.
We haven't verified that. We can't say that with all certainty. I'm going to check on the phone because we can't actually confirm that is true.
But I will say, I told you that I couldn't see you.
You did.
But you could see you. And so maybe what I see is the final. And can we also just say that we slightly have some beef?
We've got it.
Okay, good. We're happening.
We're happening.
Guys, I've got a little bit of beef to take up with you that y'all let us go for 11 minutes. And not a single person was like, hey, Shane, we can't see you. Not one
Maybe
person.
They were trying to be kind because they don't want to see me, you know?
No, the internet is not kind. If there's one
You're
word
right.
that
That's
the
true.
internet is not. That is not what they are.
You're right. You're 100% correct.
We should have had at least 3. Like, hey, idiots, learn how to do video if you're going to teach people how to do this stuff, you know?
But, you know, it does come back to one of our original statements that has been true for 6 years and will continue to be true forever. My crappy video is better than your no video. My video without me even being on it is still better than the person who doesn't do a video at all.
100%. And I'm not sure right this second if your mic's on the right mic.
Of course, man.
And I don't know why it always takes you to like your computer mic.
It is.
Here's the deal. Look at you. There you are, all sultry and beautiful. Isn't it ironic that the week after screwing up our video, we're going to talk about how to not let your video suck?
Because we're the experts, right? We're the experts on. I mean, listen. The reality is that what oftentimes happens is what people see the most of, they assume is the best of. And we see people who are like standing on their, like what to do with my hands. And they say, hi, my name is Kyle Draper. I live in Texas. I'm a Rangers fan. And so then people go, I should probably do what everyone else is doing.
Right.
But the problem with social media is you can look like an expert, not be an expert, and people would believe that's gospel, and it's not.
Yeah. 100%. So let's jump into this thing, because if I'm being honest, I text you this morning. It was like, hey, bro, you got something on your heart for Marketing Church today? And you said yes. And I said, great. See you at 1:00 Central Standard Time. So I don't even technically fully know what's about to come out of your mouth, but I'm excited about it.
Well, I was going to lean on you. So this could go one of two ways.
Good.
I think the reality is that, and I was on a class with my company earlier today talking about presentation skills, things to do, things not to do.
Yeah.
But we talked about the intro, and when people, whether you're on an actual stage, and I gave my story of being at AIM Fuse, actually where we first hooked up, and how I had built out this phenomenal presentation. I spent like 15 hours on a 15-minute presentation.
Yeah.
But now it had too much text. And so I was going to be using the teleprompters as a guide. I get on stage and the teleprompter, these screens are so small, I can't see my presentation at all. And I'm kind of like, okay. And then but you got to roll. And I think the intro, the way you start is really going to solidify how you finish.
Yeah.
Right. Because the average person's attention span, their decision-making time, where they're saying, am I going to listen to this or am I not?
Yeah.
Am I going to be committed to the next 30 minutes, 30 seconds, 3 minutes? You've got like 10 seconds.
Yep.
And so I think I got up on stage and I said, I'm going to go way long. I hope the people in the back don't get pissed. I said, if I swear, I apologize. Like I did some things like, what's this guy doing? And he wasn't wearing a suit like everyone else. Mm-hmm. And so I think that the beginning is so important. What you do at that first 10 seconds, because the average person who's watching videos online right now is watching 10 to 30 seconds. I looked at a lot of my videos and it was like 17 to 24 seconds.
Well, and can I speak to that real quick before we even jump into the meat of this? Like,
yes.
So if we're not careful, we think if somebody only watches 10 or 20 seconds of our video that we've failed. Right? Because like, man, I did a 3-minute video and like that video was good. Like there was a lot of nuggets in there. Man, I just got your attention for 10 to 20 more seconds than I would have had I not done that video. And so I really never concern myself with, did people watch it to completion? I just want to know, did your eyeballs lock with my eyeballs at some point today? Because if we do that enough, I'm going to win more often. And it just keeps me from getting buried in the leads. And I'm not an analytics guy. And we both have friends that like, they get deep into that stuff. And I love them for that. But that's just not me. You know, I just know that seeing each other is better than not seeing each other. And that's good enough.
Well, and the reality is,
dude, Richard Milligan in the house. Look at that. Man, mortgage royalty.
I was going to say the legend.
Dude, he's in the book.
He is
incredible chapter in the book.
Yeah, I'm actually supposed to get my copy tomorrow. So we'll have to talk about that. Don't let us end without talking about that.
Okay.
But what I was talking to my group about this morning is, before you even start your intro, right? It's like a book. You got your intro, your body, and your conclusion, right? Before you even get into your first 5 to 10 seconds, where you're going to really hook people to stay on longer or just to be more memorable, you have to be thinking about, who is my audience and what do they want?
Yeah.
So if I'm teaching a class on a stage or at a real estate agent's office, and I'm teaching about first-time home buyers, and my audience is real estate agents, well, what did they want? Well, that's a very different audience from a first-time home buyer. First-time home buyer wants free, low-cost money, accessibility to homes. They want these things. And so if you go into your intro, you say, hey, it's Shane Kidwell, I work at Dwell Mortgage, like nobody is staying on that video. Whereas if I say, if I told you that in the next 30 minutes, you could learn 3 ways to get up to $9,900 for free from the seller, would you be interested?
Yes.
And then I say, I might then say, hey, Shane Kidwell, I'm the founder of Dwell Mortgage. You may not need to. Right. It may be so impactful that like they go, I don't even care what your name is. Where's your QR code or your business card? Because I'm going to you. And the reality is that intro is the hook to get them to completion. And that's where they're inquisitive. They're like, man, I wanna like get to know Kyle better. I want to grab coffee with Kyle. And so what so oftentimes happens is people feel like the intro has to be them introducing themselves. The body has to be them teaching everything. And the conclusion is closing it out in such a fashion that people don't need to come to you for more. And I don't believe that to be true at all. I think the intro should be a hook. The body should be a summary of what they could learn, could get from you if they take that conversation further.
Yep.
And then the conclusion is, how do I take that conversation further? Right. And so like we're talking about all 3 parts of this, but if you can't even get your intro hook effective, you've lost them before you've even begun.
Can I show you? It already flashed up on the screen.
You flashed it. You already you already gave it away.
If I can show this. So this is, it's funny that this is what we're talking about today. And again, you and I didn't like strategize beforehand. Like this is the current week in my boot camp. We are in week 10 of boot camp. And the sole focus is using a different hook every day of the week in your video. And I told all of my boot campers, I suck at this. So I just want y'all to know, like as your coach, every coach has weak spots and this is mine. And so what we're actually testing in content compounding is my team is taking my videos that do not have hooks and then telling me, hey, Kyle, will you record a hook saying this? And then I'll just record an 8-second video that says, what if I told you, right? That's day 1 of this week of in my boot camp. And then they're just going to splice it together, right? Renee Rodriguez has started doing a brilliant job of this. And they're not the same, right? His editor is taking clips of him speaking, which he's one of the best in the world at. And then he could be sitting in his office. He throws a quick 8-second hook out. They blend them together. And bro, it's the difference in hundreds of videos versus tens of thousands of views, right? Like that's the difference in getting the beginning right.
I think that another thing that people tell themselves.
Scott Payne's jumping in the comments.
Like, I feel like if you're going to bring Scott on, that picture needs to be full body. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't just have the headshot without the full body of that.
No doubt. And he needs a mullet in his
head. 100%. But I think that a lie that we tell ourselves is, oh man, it's got to be one video, right? Whereas some of the greatest videos are like, what if I told you that there's a house hack that allows you to buy houses with no income, no assets, no credit. You can do this every year for the rest of your life. Then the next video is me in a totally different outfit. I could be wearing a cat sweater.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, hey, I want to tell you about, and now I actually go into it. They don't care because your content is what drives your value, not your appearance.
100%. And now it could be the opposite, right? If I did show up in a cat suit to start the video, that could, but I would probably need to say, you might be wondering why I'm in a cat suit.
Yeah.
And now that's the hook.
That's the hook.
That's the lead in to the content.
But it's just that these people, people, and pot calling the kettle black. It's like, oh man, I got to do outfit changes and my video has to be like succinctly designed with the same clothes and all these things. And it's not the case at all. And to your point, what I love is you could say, hey, I'm going to record 10 hooks. And then they're going to be generic enough that I could use them with 10 different videos. You could interchange. In fact, because of the way audiences' attention spans are, you could probably take 10 videos and 10 hooks and keep changing them.
Probably
and just keep reposting the same video with a different intro and a different ending and probably still win.
Well, or think about this. What if, dude, this is giving me so many ideas for content compounding. What if you did one video for the educational piece, and then you use ChatGPT to say, hey, ChatGPT, here's what I just did a video about. I need 3 different hooks, and then record 3. You just gave yourself 3 entirely different videos. Like, I could play that video one time with one hook, and then 2 months from now, I can do the same video with a different hook. And then you want to get real nerdy, we could A/B test stuff.
That's what I was going to say.
Like TikTok is such a great platform right now because if you go listen to, I think I interviewed like 4 or 5 different TikTok experts on my podcast that were all in the 6 figures to millions of followers. And bro, they all said, and this is so freaking weird. Oh, dude, I post the same video 3 to 4 different times over the same day.
Yeah.
And they'd switch out the music.
Yeah.
They'd switch out the thumbnail because they know this is really good content. I just need to get the right, collection of stuff. And now that's not exactly like, I'm not going to post the same video 4 times on Facebook, but that's what's great about Instagram or TikTok is the how fast it moves. We can go test stuff, and then the one that wins out on TikTok, make that the one you officially post on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. It's cool stuff.
It's really cool stuff, and this is so fun. And I
they
love
don't.
That.
Scott just asked, Scott.
Do they delete the ones that don't convert?
Most of the ones that I talk to say they don't, because again, you're posting so often on TikTok.
Yeah,
you're burying those in your feed a week from now. And so nobody's going to care. Could you go back and delete them? Sure. But I always wonder if the algorithm doesn't dislike us when we delete stuff because we're removing content, which is their lifeblood, right? Like from the platform.
I think it always goes back to what I learned in the fire department. Keep it simple, stupid, right? Yep. And don't overthink the things that don't matter because then you don't have enough time to really think through the things that do.
Yeah.
Right. And so what's so fun about this is, you've got that chart, that cheat sheet, which I'm going to steal that for our Fly-In Friday that we're doing next Friday for our Next Level members. So if you're part of Next Level, you have access for free to our Fly-In Fridays and our events that we do. And so next Friday, we're doing an entire day of exactly this. We're not just talking about video. We're using my video studio, my podcasting studio. I have an actual room that I use for teaching online classes. And then we're just going to be recording content all day, working through hooks, working through the bodies there you go. Exactly this stuff right here.
25 hooks for video.
I love that. So guys, if you're in Next Level, you can always make it up here to Washington next Friday. Business is down for the entire industry. There's more time available to be building things. And what's cool about what we're doing next Friday, we're going to take a day and we're going to create enough content for the next 6 to 12 months.
Let's go.
One day and you're done for the year on your video content. Now you're just you're supplementing that with images and other stories and things like that, which is so cool. I'm actually going to teach everyone a strategy how you can take 5 hours, record 4 educational trainings, webinars, and then repurpose that content live for the next 48 weeks and teach a live class every week for 48 weeks. Super exciting stuff. Man, so, it's cool.
I think I had this thought today. I haven't even shared it with you yet, but I feel like we should, because we're calling it Marketing Church, I feel like we should end every episode with like something, you know, like a little bit more spiritual, like life-giving, you know? And so my thought for the day is,
I'm sorry, real quick. I can't stop looking at the shark eating the person behind you. You're talking about mindset and like faith, and you got a shark eating a human.
Dude,
everybody's looking at that right now.
That's Jaws and Quince from Jaws.
I'm sorry, but like I just knew that that's where people like me,
and John Cena. John Cena's trying to save him.
I know, but it's like anyways, like my ADHD brain and those of every originator at some point on this call was going right to that corner of your screen.
Oh, okay, shoot.
Let's get into the good. Let's get into the goods here. Sorry.
What are we doing here? So, man, so here is the church piece to the Marketing Church is like, guys, this will all continue to be hard if your only hope is to reap selfishly from it. It's just going to always be hard because you're going to be let down. I mean, Shane, I've had hundreds of videos that I swear I'm like, this is my moment. This is my Oprah video. This is the one that's going to go viral and put me on the map. And then 9 views later, I'm like, okay, well, must have missed something. And so if this weren't bigger than me, I would have quit 100 times by now. And so you guys, those of you watching, listening, like you have to find something more. And it could be as simple as you have let go of the fact that you are making home ownership possible for people. Like you're changing the future generations of families. And maybe you just let go of that thought. And that's what you need to right now go, man, I have been transactional lately. I've just been trying to make more money instead of serve more people. And Shane, it could be just that small of a mindset shift that becomes the catalyst for why you start getting uncomfortable in front of the camera, why I get better at hooks, because my content can change people's lives, but I'm leaving it on the table because I'm not willing to do better hooks. We got to be bought in for just something more than ourselves. That's what
it's amazing how generous the universe becomes the more generous you become.
100%. Well, and that's the beauty of like you and I believe that we reap what we sow because that's what the Bible says. But you don't have to believe like Shane and I to believe that karma is a real thing and like you get out of life what you give to life. And so either one of those things is going to lead you to the road of go give more if you want to reap more.
Yeah. I think we talked about that yesterday on the podcast, which was streaming live in the community, but it's so true. And guys, I think that's where we end, right?
We got to amen. Thanks, Jenny.
Now we know we're in church. We did it, right?
Church,
well, guys, tomorrow we're going to be live inside the community. We went public for this because last week we were public with Shane as a black screen. So we had to do it again because winners redo when they lose.
Dude, I think you should dress up as a black screen for Halloween. It'll be just like the greatest inside joke ever. People will be like, what are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm a video of me and Kyle.
Man, the way the world is now, I'll probably get called something that I don't like, But listen, tomorrow, like you mentioned briefly, harnessing AI to help come up with hooks and things like that. Yeah. And tomorrow, man, we got a phenomenal guest speaker.
Bro.
And we said this to somebody yesterday, but we're not here to bring a mortgage professional that dabbles in something else. We're bringing professionals that are experts in
That's
a
right.
tomorrow. And so
That's
tomorrow, the white bearded
bro
AI guru. I mean, can we just quickly give just a 10-second hook for tomorrow?
Yeah, man. Jonathan Mast. Go look him up. He's the Whitebeard agency. He's grown a 7-figure agency, not once, but almost twice now. And he is just truly passionate about all things AI. And he has devoted the majority of his life lately to just investing in what AI does and how it serves companies. And I've never been around anybody better than him. And so it is an honor for us to have him say yes to our community. And so at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, bro, he will be laying down the gospel of all things AI, and it's going to be unbelievable. So do you guys want to miss that?
They shouldn't.
I don't think you do. You're going to end up like Quince. Where's he at? Over here. You don't want to get eaten by a shark. You want to grow a business. Look at that close. So good.
So good.
so guys, go to becomeanl.com and come be a part of what we're doing in this community. It's unbelievable. The people that are in there, on top of all the other things, are going to blow your mind. And so I can't wait for Jonathan Mast tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow.